Good morning, everybody. It's like 22 degrees out, and we're on a exercise trip with Baron and Ken. And by the way, welcome to Working Horse with Jim. So anyways, this video will actually come out the day after Christmas. So I just hope that you guys all had a great Christmas, and that during the busyness of it all, that you can take time to really think about the real meaning of Christmas. And so yeah, this is a few days before Christmas now, and we've been doing some sleigh rides, and I wanted to talk a little bit about the frustrations and the troubles that we have this time of year to do sleigh rides. Being just before Christmas, there's so many people that have relatives that come up for the holidays, and so they want to do something special for their relatives. So they call me and they say, hey, can we do a sleigh ride? And I mean, I'd love to do a sleigh ride for them, but it just seems like this time of the year, the weather is just very, very difficult to do sleigh rides. Even now, we had this nice, big, beautiful snowstorm 3-4 days ago. I don't know how long ago it was. And it's great. The trails are packed. It's just beautiful doing sleigh rides right now with the trails and all, and even the weather's been really nice the last few days. But tomorrow, tonight and tomorrow, it's supposed to get up into the 40s and rain. And earlier they were saying up into the 50s, but now they've changed that a little bit. So with all that rain and warm weather, we're going to lose a tremendous amount of the snow.
Maybe you should tell everybody who might be new where we're from.
So we're from northern New York, up on the near the Canadian border, and we're it's kind of an interesting part of the country, because if you go south of us, you go into the Adirondacks, and they get so much more snow than we do here in the St. Lawrence Valley. So we get enough snow for nice sleigh rides, but it just kind of comes and goes. And over the years that we've been given sleigh rides, at Christmas time, it's so frustrating and so difficult to do sleigh rides, because you always have this stretch. It seems like in November, early December, you get a bunch of snow, and then at Christmas time, we lose it. And it's just very hard to predict the forecast to be able to do sleigh rides. And it's the time of year when everybody wants a sleigh ride. Careful, Baron. Everybody wants a sleigh ride, and everybody has company over, so all the more reason they want a sleigh ride. It's just something about Christmas that just really makes people want sleigh rides. And I enjoy giving that to folks, but you can only do it when conditions are right. And I don't generally do too many wagon rides, just because people want a sleigh ride, not a wagon ride. So that's kind of the way it is with us up here in northern New York. And I'm afraid that there's a lot of people that do sleigh rides that run into the same issues at this time of year that I do. When you get later into the winter, we generally have enough snow and everything's good for sleigh rides, but it can get so cold that people don't really want to go out to do a sleigh ride. That's one reason why we have the cabin, because it's the sleigh ride that we offer is actually quite a bit shorter than some people. But we offer a 2-hour deal that they go out and spend time in the cabin, which is heated with a wood stove, so it's toasty warm. And so I will drop them off, and then I go back and pick them up. So anyways, that's what we're dealing with. I'm going to take Baron on this little exercise run, because I have a sleigh ride I got to get the Percherons hitched up to the sled for and ready for that sleigh ride. And then I have something else I want to do with Baron, and I'd like to show you another form of exercise that we're going to do with him. So we made it around our loop once, and now I'm going to try something with these two before I put them away and get the blacks out for the sleigh ride. I want to take Baron, see what his reaction when I go out onto the blacktop with the steel runners on this sled. So the road still should be a little bit slick from all the snow we've had, but still fairly black too. So we'll see what happens. Oh. Oh. No. Well, that was good. No problems at all. All right.
He was a little spooked, but not bad.
Okay, so now Baron went really well on the little ride we had with Ken. And now I want to take him out and work him single, and I'll talk a little bit more about that. But as you see, we've got the blacks all harnessed up, and they're ready for the sleigh ride. So we have time. I'm going to drive him, Baron, for just a little bit, and then we can go on the sleigh ride. So let's take Baron out, and I'll explain what I want to do. Back. Ooh. You shut that door, Brenda. Okay, as you can see, I have got my single lines on him because that's what we're doing. We're going to drive him single. I had told you earlier, this was quite a while ago. I can't remember when I hitched him up single last. It's been quite a while. But I can remember one of the things I said when I was driving him single is the importance of driving him single. Well, come here. Come here. Not standing very good. So the importance of driving him single, even though I'm driving him in with Baron, even though I'm driving him with Ken already, and that's what he's going to be doing the majority of his life, working as a team with somebody, I still think it's very important to teach them or to spend quite a bit of time driving them single. So that's what I'm going to do today. And as I'm driving them, I want to explain one thing that I normally do that I did not do with him. Let me get my lines untangled here. Okay. Can you go grab a lead rope? Okay, so let's drive around the driveway a little bit. If we can. Gap step. Gap step. And I'll explain a few things that's going on. Gilly. Okay, so like I said, it's been a long time since I drove him single. And one thing I would even caution people that are training their horses, when you're driving single and you need to be walking on the ground, obviously behind him, it's very important to have good footwear and not do it if the footing is such that you don't have good control of them. There's enough issues with a horse potentially trying to run that the last thing you're going to want is bad footing that you can't hold him. Today, even with my plowed driveway, there's spots on this driveway that I have to be careful because I could easily slip. If he decided to run, it might be difficult to hold him. This is obviously not his first time. He's been driven around this driveway a lot, so he shouldn't be an issue. So that's why I'm doing it, even though it's potentially slippery for me to hold him. But the thing is, what we're going to do as soon as I go around once is go back to the barn, and then I want to start putting things behind him. So I would generally, when I'm training a horse, have done that already before he was hitched to a team on my sled. But this particular horse, this particular time, it just worked out that I could just go right onto the sled, and that's what I did. So I actually have not ever dragged anything behind him when he's single or when he's double, because he went directly onto the sled and everything was tight and nothing dragged. So what I'm going to do is go back now. I will tie him and I will take the whipple tree and hitch that behind him, probably just one side at a time, and see how he reacts to something being dragged behind him. So my plan, if it goes well, is I will drag the whipple tree first, and then I'll put a chain behind that and drag that. And if everything goes smooth, I will possibly even go and hitch onto a small log and drive him around with a small log. These are a lot of maybes, but that's what we're going to try. Cap step. Cap step. Oh. Oh. Hope. 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 Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Oh. Another thing you could do that works really well is to have your horse and just leave him tied to wherever he's comfortable. Okay. Okay. And then you could actually just hitch your whipple tree and let him stand here for a period of time, and he would be going back and forth and actually hitting the sliding the whipple tree around. So I'm going to just put on the very last link, and actually I'm just going to leave it just one side. So now I'm going to drive a little ways and come back with it just on the one side, and then I'm going to hitch the second side. This would be the least amount of what would be the word? Resistance, I guess, that he could have.
Look at his leg. He's from turning sharp with 10.
Right here. Okay. Actually, it's not from turning. And you're right, that's from the pole, yes. Get a close-up of that even. So as you can see, this is not a surprise. Things like that will happen on young colts. It might have been from actually driving. I'm trying to think, as we turned, it would only hit him when we turned to the right. So it might have been from that. It could have been just standing there. And
I kind of saw it happen, I think. It was a sharp turn.
yeah, it's hard to say when it happened. Yep, cast out. Gap step.
I'll have to put some of that salve on.
Gap step.
That Mona do.
It's really good in some ways, the fact that it's snow behind us, so that whipple tree is making less noise than it would on dirt. Oh. I think I'm going to have him stand right there. Oh. If he will. And I'm going to hit the other side. Oh. No. No. Now we'll see what happens when he's got the whipple tree hitched up, dragging behind him. I step up. And as you see, I put it on the very last link. The last thing you'd want is to have him hitting the whipple tree with his foot. But I want to do a lot of turning like this, just so he feels that against his legs. Although that's really not a big deal to him, because he, even as you saw with his legs, he's getting used to the tugs against his legs from working with Ken. I'm going to drive him up here because if he goes as nice as I hope he will, I'm actually going to hitch him onto this small log up to our left. Careful. Huh? Huh? Oh. Oh. No. 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 Bap ya. Bap ya. Bap ya. Oops. Ba. 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 Ho. Of course, I don't have a chain here with me. Ho. 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 So I can't hitch on quite yet. But if things continue to go well, that's what we're going to do. Swing it right in here and hitch on with this. I cuffed up. Another thing, careful. Another good thing to do is to just, pick up the whipple tree. Ho, 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 and drop it some. Cuffed up. Like I said, by having the snow, unfortunately, it allows you, your traction is a lot worse, but you also have the quietness of the snow. That whipple tree would be a lot noisier if this was on dirt as opposed to snow. Just one more thing to think about when you're training colts. Careful. So I'm going to go down the driveway a ways. As you saw earlier in the video, when I took him and Ken across the blacktop, of course he spooked quite a bit, which was understandable. So now I think I'm going to take him across the blacktop, dragging this whipple tree. But as soon as I hit that blacktop, I have to be on my toes and be ready for anything that might happen to scare him. Careful, 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 careful. Oh, oh. I cuff us out. Cuffs up. He was very good, but obviously it did spook him a little bit. Careful.
Is the best thing to do when, you know, they're getting a little hyped up to stop them, to like kind of gain control?
Sometimes, but sometimes, like in our situation right there, I did stop him, and that was okay. But a lot of times, if you see in a situation like this, that a few more feet, he's going to be in the snow, and the noise will go away. Sometimes it's better just to get on the snow not quick like, but directly out to the snow so it's quieter. But what he needs is plenty of careful, plenty of time and plenty of situations where he, you know, these things happen. And yes, he will spook, but the more he does it, the more he gets comfortable with it, and the less he spooks. It's nice because even today I will have a sleigh ride here, and when I do my sleigh rides, they go out to the cabin and they stay there for a while, and I come back and leave them there. So my horses come back, and I timed right here at the barn, and then I've got a little while to spend, and I can bring him out and do this exercise all over again. Oh. Oh. So I am going to get a chain. Oh. Oh. I want to give you guys a little update on my trailer. I bought some plexiglass. Here's a sheet of plexiglass that we're going to be putting into the windows. This is the higher quality plexiglass. Polycarbonate sheet. I think people have suggested that's what I use, and I was planning on doing that anyways, and it's a lot better stuff. So I ended up with a little snap here on my tailgate, or my gate. But I wanted to show you this. I got my mats all in.
Wall-to-wall carpeting.
So I'm really pleased with that. So it's close to being ready to use. Okay, so let's see how the chain spooks Baron. We've talked about blinders on a recent video, and here's a good example of how he is learning to trust me, and even though he can't see what I'm doing, he has to and is starting to trust me in all that I do and all that he's doing with me. So I'm walking up onto him. He can't see me, okay, but he needs to hear my voice, okay, to know that what I'm doing is okay. So I'm going to lay this chain down carefully, okay. And we will take a drive around with this. Step. Careful step. Cheek, cheek, cheek. So I'm going to make one more pass around the driveway to see how he does the second time around. And if he does good, we'll go hitch onto a log. If this was a colt that has never pulled anything at all, I would never hitch him onto a log right yet. I would give him a lot more time. Easy, easy, careful. But since he's been driving around with Ken quite a few times now with this sled, he's starting to know a little bit about how to pull. So I'm quite confident he can easily handle this little log I'm going to hitch him to if things go well. I hate the thought of something going wrong because he's been doing so good, but I've also trained enough horses to know it surely could go wrong, even right here. Careful, 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 good boy. Now I don't know if you guys have noticed it, but I can most definitely tell when I'm telling him to be careful, he is sensing my voice and starting to earn that trust already, that he calms right down when I tell him to be careful. And it doesn't matter if I say careful or whatever I say, it's just the idea he's hearing my voice behind him so he knows he's okay. That's so important to teach a horse that. And teach them to have trust in you, and because of that, you can be so careful you don't do something wrong. Training these young colts, careful, careful, is not for a new teamster, someone that has not worked horses before. Things can go wrong so fast. Even if you've done this a lot, things can still go wrong so fast. And when you break that trust by having a runaway, careful, careful. It takes a long time to build that back up again. Because so often when something happens like that, in the horse's mind, they think you did something wrong to make that happen. So I'm going to go over here and, careful, hitch onto this log. At least we hope so. Oh, so I'm going to stop him right here so he's looking at the log and take the chain off. There we go. Here, you're doing good. So now that I'm at his head, I'll throw the chain on the log. Yeah. Huh?
I'm just standing there. He's not tied or anything.
I'm right close by though, just a matter of just real quick and I can grab him. So now I'm going to grab him, turn around. Now he's not very used to backing. He's not that good at it yet. So I hope to swing in here close enough that he has to back very little or not even at all. If I had to, I could hitch a longer chain.
Can I say that I think he likes
You can say that. I think he's starting to trust me more, but there again, you got to be so careful. Calf stop. Calf stop. Calf stop. Huh. Ho. 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 Back up here. Back. Back up here. Back up here. Back up here. Up here. Oh. 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 These first couple seconds are going to be the worst. Oh. 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 Alright, careful step. Careful. Careful. Oh. Oh. He's got to be saying, what in the world is that? This is all so new. And he doesn't know what to think of it. Ho. 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 I cuffed up. If you noticed back when I was hitching on, I was actually swinging the tugs against his leg to put him over there. And that's something that he was getting used to when he's driving on the big sled with Ken. Even hitching up, I would grab that outside tug to swing his butt in. And there again, just one more thing that's really teaching him how to do things. So I'm going to go down part way across their driveway. I am not going to go onto the road with this log. I'm just going to go down part way across their driveway, turn around, and take this right back and unhitch it. Maybe after I take this sleigh ride and the horses are back at the barn and I'm waiting for the group to be down at the cabin, I might hitch him up again to do the same thing. Now skidding with logs is a whole nother process and a whole nother thing I'd like to show you sometimes with a single horse and how to go about it. But I'm not worried about that right now. As you can see, I'm staying a ways away from the log on the corner so I don't get run over, of course. But this is more of just to get him used to pulling something behind him when he's working single. And for being his very first time at it, I'm very, very pleased. Oh. What do you think, Brenda?
Awesome. Let me take a picture of you two pulling your first log together. Awesome.
Cuffs up. Oh, it's interesting now because I come right here. He's trying to go to the barn. Oh. And so I have to keep coaxing him to the left instead of going to the right. Cuffs up. Oh. Oh.
It's not hard in the least bit, is it?
No. Oh. Okay, our lesson is done for today. I do hope you enjoyed the video. Have a great day.
Good job. You're a good boy.
Ahí está, pa. Oh.